Hey, we're back to have chill time and draw butts. And learn something new. That's the vibe. So we're gonna curve up a little bit here. It's kind of funky looking right now, and I'm not 100%. But I know we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, but don't worry. It's kind of silly, but so is this whole comic making business. Gotta remember my shapes. Lots of circles, lots of spheres. It's really weird that you do a model sheet like this, and then it's like you're hardly ever actually going to draw a character from like a dead nuts straight ahead view, or a dead nuts profile. The 3/4 turn is probably going to be something that you're going to see more often than not. But again, we're establishing understanding of the costume design and the character. That's kind of the biggest thing from the model sheet is for yourself as an artist and to demonstrate to clients that you know what it looks like from every angle. So that's important. And I'm actually hitting this a lot messier than I was necessarily planning on. But that's all right. As always, Oh right, it's backwards. I almost tried to draw the arm cannon there. As always, I make statements before I start doing the work, and then I start doing the work and I go, oh crap, I was wrong. And that's what's happened here. But I expect it at this point. It doesn't even really upset me anymore. I know I'm an idiot. I feel like that might be one of my great art tips. It's just like, accept that you're an idiot and you're going to say stupid stuff, and it's not the end of the world. I know exactly what I want to do for the rest of this model sheet. After that, I'm really not sure what comes next. I might need to write some kind of rudimentary script. Now, basically, starting with the protagonist is kind of the easiest way to think about this, because you know that the protagonist is going to be in the script. But beyond that, I don't know. Because that is going to be script dependent. Who is the antagonist is script dependent. How frequently is that antagonist even going to appear in the comic? That is script dependent. I don't know if y'all read Marakira Destroy the Moon, which you should. Please read Marakira Destroy the Moon. I'll probably drop up a link in the description since I mentioned it. That's my comic. My creator-owned comic that I write and draw and do all of the jobs for. But my primary antagonist, Manitatis, doesn't show up very often. He's the big bad guy, and most of what he does is sit on a throne on a mountain. So every so often I do I'll do a little chapter featuring what he's up to or things he's done in the past, just to remind people of what a jerk he is. But this is the thing, you know, like even think like Metroid Dread, from perspective of Samus, and you know, you start that game and you run into Ravenbeak, and then you don't see him again until the final boss fight. So an antagonist design obviously needs to be tight. It needs to be just as tight as protagonist design, but chances are you're not going to see them nearly as much as protagonist. It also means they could potentially be a little bit more elaborate because you're not going to need to draw them on every single page. I recently did the character design sheet for a writer who I'm working on a new project with. No, I guess I'll keep it secret for the moment. But anyways, I got the brief for what the comic was going to be, and before seeing anything, I was like, okay, this sounds great. Hey, I'm going to do some. I know we haven't officially started yet, but I'm going to do some concepts, and you can let me know what you think. So I drew a concept for a protagonist, and it was one of those moments where I sent it in to the writer, and they were like, "Wow, this is fantastic, but you made them too cool." What they actually said was, "This is sweet, but they look way too powerful to be the protagonist. Can we make them the rival instead?" Which kind of threw me for a loop, because I put a lot of energy into making them look like, you know, a protagonist in terms of like face and expression and even color design. And I was like, boy, I don't know. But then they sent me what they wanted, the actual concept they wanted for the protagonist, and it was like, oh, okay, well, we can do that. And this design I've done here could definitely be a rival, because what is a rival if not a slightly cooler protagonist with a mean smirk on their face? So I said, I'll just make them look mean like Gary Oak, and we got an instant rival here. That's perfect. So that kind of stuff will happen sometimes. But in the case of like a Metroid, I don't really think there's going to be like a rival character in what I'm going to do here. And if there is, it'll probably be like Sylux or something. Even though we don't know a whole lot about Sylux. You just see that dude in the Metroid Prime 4 trailer, and you can tell that he's bad Samus. That's my best friend is least favorite trope is bad protagonist. It's like, who's the bad guy? The example is, it was always related to like Marvel movies. It's like, oh, who's the bad guy in Iron Man? It's bad Iron Man. Who's the bad guy in Iron Man 2? It's slightly different bad Iron Man. And who's the bad guy in Iron Man 3? You're never gonna guess this, but it's well, actually, it wasn't bad Iron Man in Iron Man 3, but you know, you get the point. It's on the one hand, it's like, Prezi D did a video about this too. It's like the bad evil Doctor Strange from the dark dimension. Like, it's boring. It's a little bit boring and lazy to have bad protagonist be your antagonist, right? And there's definitely ways to do like other character with power suit. But when we're talking about Metroid villains, you think about like Dark Samus. So Dark Samus is not really Psylocke, if Psylocke turns out to be like bad Samus, I feel like that's lamer than the actual Dark Samus was, because Dark Samus was a separate entity who took over Samus's armor. But Dark Samus is really like SAX2, right? We've been to this well a few times, is what I'm saying. It's not something I'm going to do in my Metroid comic. I'm gonna do Ridley because I'm original. All right, hey. On that hilarious note, we'll stop today. And hey, thank you for joining me. I hope you got something out of today's video. I have been working on the back view. I haven't been talking a whole lot about the back view because it's not really a whole lot to say. But you know, as we go through more, we need to do a better butt. We need to figure that out. But hey, check out my links in the description. Anything you can do to support is always greatly appreciated. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. Ring the little bell thingy so you know when I post new videos. That's always great. Thank you so much for being with me today. I hope you got something out of it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.